Hiya, welcome to Nigel K's tomato growing video. It's the first video of the season. It's the 17th of January and we're going to start sowing my tomato seeds. So effectively we're doing three varieties this year. We're doing one called Maisie, we're doing one called Honeycomb. If you look back on my videos from last season, you'll see we grew two of these varieties last season, which was Shirley and Honeycomb. The Honeycomb was a very small cherry tomato, very sweet, it was beautiful. And Shirley is one of our main cropping ones we had last year. And we done one plant called Maisie as a trial, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was filled, every truss was full of tomatoes, the plant was overloaded with tomatoes and were beautifully tasted. So I thought this year we'll do one half of the greenhouse in Maisie and we'll do the other half of the greenhouse in Shirley. And we'll just put half a dozen honeycomb in, just dot those around at the bottom end. So you need to start off with a good quality compost. I can't stress this enough. You need a proper, fine, light seed compost. Seeds aren't cheap, so you pay a lot of money for your seeds. So don't put them in crap compost because you'll end up half of them won't germinate. Must be a good quality, fine seed compost. I've filled my trays up ready. You can see the compost there. It's fine, it's light. There's no big lumps of wood in it. There's no nasties in it. It's nice compost there, nice and fine. That's your main thing. Get a good quality compost first of all. I've filled my 3 seed trays for the 3 varieties. As I say, what I've done, I've actually given the compost a really good watering. You know, really soak and drench that compost before you sow your seeds. No seeds in these yet. As I say, it's just prepared now to do. I prefer to use these seed trays. There's some old seed trays with some little tops that fit on the top. I've washed them out and I've sterilised them with a disinfectant before I've used them. The reason why I like to use these and not modules or pots to sow in is because they're not very deep. So when you put these in the heated propagator or the hotbed, the heat's going to get to those seeds quite quickly, because sometimes if you put them in pots or modules, they're quite deep, so it takes quite a bit of time for the heat to travel up to them. So I prefer to use these. So the first variety that we're going to sow, I've got these out ready because I'm going to sow roughly about 30 of each seed. This first one is Maisie. So effectively I'm just going to scatter the seeds about in here. Doesn't matter if they're too close together, you know, the purpose of putting them in these trays basically is just to germinate them and to get them to the true seed leaves. So we'll just sow these about. As I say, there's about 30 seed I've put in there. I need 24, but I've put a few extra in just to be on the safe side. So just space them about, just in case we don't get them all germinated. Then we're just going to go over them lightly with some of this nice light fine seed compost, just like that. Probably going to sow them round about just over 1/4 of an inch deep. Just a little bit more, make sure we've got them all covered, and then we're just going to slowly, just very gently, just pat those down, get the compost from the sides, and just pat those down very gently like that. Again, even though we've soaked them, we are going to give them another soak again, just over the top, just to dampen that compost that we've just put in. That's that done. Then we're going to put a little lid on with a vent like that, and we'll put them in the hotbed, but we'll come back to that in a minute. We'll sow these other ones. So our next one is Shirley. Again, these are in a little packet ready to sow. Just sow them as thin as you possibly can. I'm not saying we're going to get them perfect, but again, we'll sow as thinly as we can on there. I think we've got them all out because I measured them earlier, and again we need about 30 of these, so just lightly spread them about like that, because we are going to transplant them soon as they grow, well, once they get the true leaves on them. So again we'll cover those over. Again, our compost, nice and fine, light compost. Again, we'll just gently pad them down like that. Again, we'll give them a water. So we're looking at putting in roughly 24 Shirley plants, 24 of the Maisie plants. This is what I'm doing in my greenhouse, and we're going to probably sort out 6 of these honeycomb tomato plants. So the honeycomb seed, which I've got here, the packet says it has 12 in, but when I've looked at them, it's probably about 20 odd, so I don't need all them. I don't want to waste the seed. So I'm looking for about half a dozen, so that's 3 in there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll put about 10 or 11 in there like that. But I say I only need half a dozen plants. So I'll just put those back in the packet. And again, we'll sprinkle the compost over them again. Nice and light. Nice light airy compost. Not full of things that shouldn't be in compost, like big bits of wood and general stuff like that. You want a nice fine good quality seed. So again, that's padded down. We'll give these a water over, and then you'll be putting these now, because it says, I say it's mid-January, you know, they need heat on at the moment if you're going to sow your seed this time of year. So again, we're going to take these over and we're going to put them in a hotbed. This is the hotbed we used last year. It's aluminium heat mat. It's on, it's warm, as I say. This is had a sweep out. I've gone over this as well. I've sprayed it over with the gardener's disinfectant as well, so you know, there's no nasties or anything like that. So these are going to go in here. That's 1, 2. Just go and get the other one. So that's 3. As I say, these should germinate in about 7 to 10 days. So we'll watch them see how they are. So we've got 3 varieties. We've got our honeycomb, which we're going to use six plants of. We've got our Maisie, which we're going to put 24 plants in, which is up one side of the greenhouse. And we've got our Shirley, which will go up the other side of the greenhouse, which we're putting 24 of those in. If you have a look at my videos from last season, it's on there. You'll see, you know, how we lay them out and how they grow. But as I say, join us again in another 2 weeks' time. We'll have a look at them. We'll see how they've germinated. We'll count how many has come through of what we've sown, and we'll look at them there. And we'll do a video now every 2 weeks, right up to cropping. So please like our videos and please follow us, and we'll just watch the tomato journey right through to harvesting. Thanks very much. Bye bye.